Hello everyone. Welcome to the Medicare Space channel. My name is Victoria Cabrera, and today I have a very special guest. His name is Dr. Ortiz from HealthTX Medical Group, and today we're going to be talking about staying healthy during this quarantine and even stuff that you can implement even after the stay-at-home orders are over with. So I really hope you enjoy the show. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the video. This quarantine. But first of all, Dr. Ortiz, thank you so much for taking your time out of your schedule. I know that you guys are working hard out there for our seniors and the community, and I just want to really thank you guys for taking the time to implement these series with us. But I want to ask you, I know that this is a big topic going on, is, you know, we're at home. What can we do? How do we stay healthy? I mean, this is advice that I can take, so I'm going to really appreciate this episode. So tell us, what's a good way to keep healthy during this quarantine, and even stuff that the seniors can take with them even after this quarantine?
Right. I think, you know, staying in motion is always very important. And I think, you know, the messaging right now is stay home, stay home, stay home. And so, you know, everybody's at home and very little to do. So I think one of the important things, you know, when they say stay at home, it means obviously you want to stay away from crowds. So what that translates to is that in order to stay active, I think one of the things you could do is, if you're able to, go for walks around your neighborhood. If you have that accessible to yourself, going outdoors, obviously doing the distancing, avoiding big crowds, but doing that walking can be a big role because, as you know, everything has changed. And so if you're just at home in a confined space, you're maybe not moving a lot, and that can take its toll. So you want to kind of have that flexibility, have that motion, keep your muscles, your joints active. I mean, something that I've noticed, you know, in the clinic, we're constantly moving from room to room or to the nurse's station. And in the last few weeks, that has stopped because we're doing televisits. So a lot of it now is sedentary for us, where I'm not used to that. Yeah. And I've noticed that, you know, from so much sitting, when I get up to move, it feels very, I feel stiff almost at points. So yeah. I can imagine with these prolonged stay-at-home orders, you do want to take advantage. And at least if you have that availability, walk around a neighborhood. I think the parks can be a little tricky because I think a lot of people are trying to escape the park. So for our seniors, you know, they want to be careful. I think if you are going to go to a park, make sure to wear the mask, you know, to protect yourself in that way. If there's a little bit more crowds, you're going to be walking by people, even though you're trying to distance, you know, sometimes it may not be possible. But if you're going to stay indoors, you know, then any type of activity that you can do around the house. And there, I think you have to get a little bit more creative to come up with ideas to keep your body active, keep moving in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, those are good points. I know with me, I mean, I'm used to hitting the road. I'm on the road a lot. I'm in the customers' homes. You take for granted how much we actually really walk during that process. Like exactly. You said, you guys are doing more televisits, and you're used to, you know, even walking down the hall and getting active. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, right now I'm in my office and I sit almost 8 hours a day now, and I'm not used to that. So exactly. I myself have been trying to implement, you know, simple things, walking. I mean, the gyms are closed, so it's really hard to access, you know, your everyday routine. So, you know, myself too, I have stairs in my home. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to walk down the stairs 5 times today, you know, something exactly. Easy. So yeah, that's great advice. I mean, I think especially for the seniors, I think they also can probably see the change because maybe they're used to their daily routine, going to the market to get their groceries, going to their children's house, going to visit the grandkids, and they probably don't realize how, you know, how active they actually are versus right now. So that's great advice. Anything else that they can do to keep healthy right now? I mean, I know that, like I said, exercise is very important.
Right. I think the other thing, diet wise, right? Obviously diet always is going to be important, as long as, you're doing the motion. But then also the other part of that is, okay, well, what are you consuming? What are you eating? And being at home, I think, I've noticed the temptation is so much more to grab a snack, kind of be grazing in a way,
Yes.
in between meals. So I think with that in mind, what you want to do is at least be mindful of what you keep in the house. If you have a lot of bad snacks, then you may want to kind of get rid of those or donate them, right? You
Yeah.
can donate them to the food bank, and then kind of make sure you have healthy snacks, so that if you do have that urge to be snacking because there's not much else to do, at least you're reaching for healthy snacks. And especially the diabetics, as we've
Oh,
done
yeah.
the television, I've been telling my diabetic patients, hey, just, be very careful what you're eating, how much you're eating, because I think a lot of times in something stressful like we're going through right now, some people can stress eat. So then you also have to be mindful of that. You're not getting out, you're maybe bored, and some people turn to food for comfort. So you just want to be careful with what you're choosing to eat, and how much you're choosing to eat also.
Yeah, it's so easy to make bad choices even in a normal environment,
Right.
and so to even try to make smart choices right now, it's harder now, because it's just, we can't just go to HEB and pick up our normal fruits and vegetables that we're used to. Or if we do, we have to take more precautions now. It's kind of an inconvenience. But I mean, anything to stay safe and to stay healthy. I mean, I myself, it's just like really hard to find stuff, like I loaded up on some protein shakes and stuff like that,
Mhm.
just so that way I have an easy fix in the morning to
Sure.
have as breakfast. So for those of you guys listening, I mean, it's very important, like Dr. Ortiz says, is to stay mindful of, if you're
Mhm.
walking to the fridge every 5 minutes, I mean, it's easy. It's like, okay, why am I walking to the fridge again? Do I
Right.
really need to be eating a snack right now just because
Exactly.
we're getting bored? But
Mhm.
I think, like you said earlier, if you're taking the steps to stay active, then I think you're more aware of, okay, I just walked around, a few blocks and I'm feeling good. I don't think I want to ruin it on eating that cookie or
Exactly.
that pan dulce that's sitting there,
Yes.
right?
That's true.
Is there anything else that you can give our seniors, or anybody listening for that matter, anything else
Sure.
they can do that they can stay, maybe even like, as far as like keeping the noise out, like,
Right. So, right now in the world we live in today, the information is everywhere. And the thing is, sometimes a lot of that information can be wrong. And there's an abundance of it. So, the 24-hour news channels are going, and they're looking to attract eyeballs. So they're looking for those bad stories or hard situations going on with the current pandemic. So a lot of times you want to also be aware of that, and maybe step away from the TV and turn it off, because it's going to be there tomorrow and they're going to have more stories tomorrow. I think it's a developing situation. There's things we know, and there's certain things that we definitely don't know and won't know for a while. So being aware of that and saying, okay, they're working on the pandemic situation. They have, a plan right now to stay safe. So keep that in mind, and then occupy your time with an activity you might like. It could be either picking up a book that you've been wanting to read, or rereading a book that you enjoyed probably before. I know a lot of people are doing puzzles, is what I've heard. So it's basically finding something that will distract you in a way, and help you pass the time, and at the same time stimulate your brain. That way you're, thinking about something else instead of worrying about sometimes certain things. Worry about things that we really can't change and we really
yeah,
can't do much about. So I think stepping away from that and trying to engage in a different activity. I know some of my patients have said during this time, if they have the opportunity to do so, they're gardening. So that way they're outdoors and they're kind of doing something active, and at the same time, they're thinking about their plans, or activities of that nature. I know around the neighborhood, I've seen a lot of people landscaping lately, you know, projects at home. I think within reason, anything like that would be very helpful.
yeah,
And just keep in mind that a lot of times the news is trying to attract eyeballs. So, they're going to be very overly dramatic at times. So a lot of times, you have to take that with a grain of salt, and,
yeah,
and kind of, you can trust but verify is one of the things they say. And
yeah.
I think they're doing a great job of getting information out there. And so, I think if you take your time to do things that will stimulate your mind and keep you active, and thinking about something else, when you come back, that information is going to be there.
Yeah, and that's a great point. One thing that I do is that I like to write like things that I'm grateful for, just to give it, like, I don't know, for whatever reason, when I write things down, it just has a lot more impact. So I'll write things that I'm grateful for. If you're spiritual, you can pray and ask, for positive things to come. And also, if even outside, this is going to be over, and when it is, maybe write some goals for yourself.
Right.
Hey, I want to visit my grandkids more 2 times a week. I want to get out walking more this many times. And so I think just writing things down keeps the mind occupied, like you said, sets a goal for you guys, and it'll keep you preoccupied versus sticking the eyeballs to the news and like thinking that, the world's going to end tomorrow. We don't want that for you, right? So that's why it's important. That's why I love that you guys are doing this with us, because we're able to put out information that's more positive, that things that they can implement tomorrow or today, right?
Exactly.
Is there anything else? I'm so grateful for your time. I know you guys are busy and I don't want to take too much of your time. Is there anything else you want to add? Anything?
No, I think we've covered some great topics, and obviously, we're here. If, patients want to talk further, we're obviously available either for phone calls right now, obviously the televisits, and once we open up, obviously in-person visits, which we prefer. This has all been an adjustment, but, I think everybody's dealing it with in the way they know how.
Yeah, and the most important thing is you're not in it alone. We're all in the same boat right now. We're all kind of having to stick with, we can all take these things that we've learned from the doctors in the series and implement them. And I know I will. But I just really want to, I appreciate your time, and I appreciate the work that you guys are doing over there at HealthTX. You guys have always been really awesome, especially with my customers. So
thank you.
If there's anybody out there that needs help, or that if you can't find something to do and you need a little advice, or you can't find a doctor and you need access to a doctor, we are here to help you. HealthTX is here to help you. And Dr. Ortiz, I'm sure you're available to help clients or patients if they need them. Again, Dr. Ortiz, thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You've been awesome. Okay, everyone, please feel free to share this message with anyone you know. And if you need anything, please, please, please give us a call. Again, thank you, and have a beautiful, beautiful day.